What's going on, y'all? This your man Pristine, back with the Pristine review for the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Now, my bad, y'all, there was a little indecisiveness going on there very shortly. Now, on the 21st of April, when this phone was released, initially I went down to my local T-Mobile. Shout out to my guys and my girls down there at the local T-Mobile spot. Y'all know who you are. I walked out of there with the Plus. Okay, got home, configured it, customized it, and I like the phone. But I felt like it was a little too big for me. Usually big phones for me is anywhere between, a 5.7 and a 6-inch, which, okay, that's cool. The 6.2, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just seemed like it was just a little too much. Like I didn't need all that screen real estate. And so I went in and I swapped it for the S8, which is the 5.8 inch screen, which seemed to be a little bit of a better fit, especially considering that I've got smaller hands, easier to hold and to navigate, considering the fact that it's also got a big 5.8 inch screen. Now, the mistake that I made was I got the Plus first, and I adapt to my surroundings very quickly. So, usually I get a big phone. It's not really a big deal for me to make the adjustments. So considering the fact that I had the Plus first, and then I dropped down to the S8, I was missing that additional screen real estate, one. But for two, the Plus has a bigger battery. This has a 3,500 milliamp hour battery, and the S8 has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, both the batteries perform well, and that's, again, just depending on, what you're doing with your phone. But I was able to notice off top, just the difference in battery life and so forth. And so having that extra screen real estate and having that additional 500 milliamps, to me, it's worth the additional $100. So I went ahead and I, returned the S8 and went ahead and got myself another Plus. And actually this time I got the color that I wanted. The first Plus that I had, it was the silver one, which is cool. Considering that the front of the phones are all black, no matter what color you get, it was a good combination between the black and silver. But you guys already know, man, I'm all black everything. No racist, just all black everything. You know what I mean? So, of course, I would prefer for my phone to be black. So when I got this Plus, luckily I was able to get it into black, so I'm happy about that. So, if you guys are wondering, okay, why there was a Plus video unboxing and then there was an S8 unboxing and how come both phones aren't here in this review? Because I can't afford to have them both. You know what I'm saying? I can only have one or the other. So this is the Plus here. Both phones are extremely identical with the exception of the screen size and the battery life. Aside from that, these two phones are exactly the same, So now getting to the review. Just really quickly, just off top, just want to run down the spec sheet really quickly, and then we'll get into other things regarding this device. So we're rocking with a 6.2 inch big boy here, 6.2 inch, 1440 by 2960 pixel, super AMOLED Quad HD display. Translation: the coldest screen on any smartphone in the world right now. And there's some good ones out there, Now, with this particular display, it does give you options. You've got 3 options with this display. You can rock it at 720, you can rock it at 1080, and you can rock it at Quad HD. Now, a lot of people seem to have been up in arms because of the fact that out of the box, it's set at the 1080p setting. A lot of people are just like, well, hey, since we've got that Super AMOLED Quad HD display, we want it on that Quad HD setting. Maybe Samsung, they scaled it back to the 1080, just for battery consumption, which me personally, I don't have a problem with, but I like the fact that they do give you the option. So, if you feel like you need that extra screen clarity, then you just go ahead in your settings and bump it up to Quad HD, and I can show you later on in the video how you do that. Me personally, I'm totally fine with the phone being in 1080p. I don't have to have it on Quad HD to really appreciate the beauty of this screen, as I've mentioned in another video that I did about this phone when I did the unboxing. The screen is absolutely gorgeous. There's no screen in the world on any phone that tops this phone right now. Period. You know, Samsung, they've always been known for making really, really good quality screens. And not to knock on any other OEMs or companies that, you know, make phones, because they got good screens too. But I'm just saying, this is the best one, you know. So you got the three options, you know. Really, if you really want to, you know, conserve your battery, you probably want to scale it down to that 720, you know, which that doesn't look bad, you know. But me, I'm comfortable with it being at 1080. I don't need to have it at Quad HD. You know what I'm saying? But you've got options, you know, depending on where you want your screen quality to be. So I like the fact that they implemented that. So now we've got a Snapdragon 835 processor. This is the first phone to house the Snapdragon 835 processor. We've got 4 gigs of RAM. We've got 64 gigs of onboard storage. We do have expandable memory up to 256 gigs. Okay. Now you can expand the memory up to 256. It can go to 2 terabytes, but I mean, I believe the 2 terabyte, you know, SD card is still in production. It's not out yet. So as of right now, 256 is what you can expand the memory to. You know, 64 gigs is plenty for me. 16 gigs is plenty for me. You know, just because I don't do a bunch of downloading. You know, I take a lot of photos because I've got children. You know, I've got a 13-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So my wife and I, we're constantly taking, you know, photos of the kids, family photos, you know, and, you know, that can you know, use up your memory. But I've got Dropbox. You know, so usually whenever I take photos, I always just, you know, turn on my Wi-Fi, or as soon as I connect it to my charger, all those videos, they're synced over to Dropbox, and I just erase the photos off of my phone just to free up the memory. I'm not downloading movies or music. I stream music on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how I get by. You know, I could literally have a 16 gig device and I will be completely straight. So it'd be nice if they had that, you know, available, because I'm pretty sure that there would be a price drop somewhat. You know, but that's not the reality. So, you know, I guess it's good to have the 64 gigs, you know, just in case, you know, I just all of a sudden wanted to become a download beast. And then, you know, I've got plenty of space to download whatever I feel I need to download. So there you've got that. Now, we've got, let's see, as I mentioned, we've got 4 gigs of RAM. We've got an Adreno 540, and we are running Android 7.0 Nougat right out of the box. Okay, now the front of the phone, it's never specified as to what type of glass this is. Now it says that on the back of the phone, we're rocking Corning Gorilla Glass 5. You know, I don't want to make any assumptions and say that it's Corning Gorilla Glass 5, you know, on the front, you know, but I got my little cheat sheet here, and it says Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the rear of the phone, you know. So I don't know if this is Corning Gorilla Glass 3 or 4, you know, but I know for a fact Corning Gorilla Glass 5 is on the back of the phone. Okay, now let's see. Now taking a look around the phone, you know, I've got a black theme set to the phone. Again, all black everything, all black phone, all black theme. I just think it looks dope, you know. So as you can see, we've got the always on display here, which displays the time, the date. You know, there's little banners and things that you can put down there, you know, just to customize your phone even more. So me, I just put Pristine's Galaxy S8 Plus. Everybody knows me by Pristine. So if I were to ever leave my phone somewhere, you know, where people know me, then they'll pick it up and be like, oh, that's Pristine's phone. And hopefully they would return it, you know. It's kind of questionable nowadays, because people, they be trying to creep up on a come up, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, the likelihood of me leaving my phone somewhere is very slim, but you know, we're humans, people make mistakes. We've got notifications right here. Battery life is also displayed right there. As you can see, I've got 94%. Now, if you want to display your notifications from the lock screen here, you just simply double tap on them. And depending on the security features that you have on your phone, then you would just go right into the notifications. Now, I've got my fingerprint set up, I've got face detection set up, and I've got a PIN set up. So for me on my phone, even if my screen is locked, if you double tap on any one of those notifications, which I just did, it's going to bring you to the screen where you have to enter your PIN. but then you also just see really quickly how quickly the face detection works. Which is good. I mean, I love the security features that this phone possesses. You've got so many options. I mean, you've got the iris scanner, you've got face detection, you've got a fingerprint reader, and then you've just got your standard, enter in a password or enter in a PIN code, enter in a pattern, stuff like that. You've got multiple ways that you can secure your device, Now, again, 6.2-inch display, which is beautiful. Top of the phone here, we've got the speaker, we've got the iris scanner over here. Right here, we've got the 8-megapixel front-facing camera, and then we've got the front-facing flash right here. To the right of the phone, we've got nothing but the power button that also acts as a sleep button. Top of the phone, we've got a noise-canceling microphone, and we also have the SIM ejection tray, which is dual SIM compatible, or you can use it just for your nano SIM and an SD card for expandable memory. To the left of the phone, we've got the volume rockers up and down, and then we've got the dedicated Bixby button, which you cannot customize to be anything else. A lot of people are up in arms about that. Me, I don't really care. It's not really a big deal, and I actually find Bixby to be a little helpful. Now, to the bottom of the phone, we've got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. It's important to mention that. We've got a Type-C USB connector that is supported by Quick Charge 3.0. And then we've got the speaker grill. And this speaker is as loud as it needs to be. I mean, this little bottom firing speaker gets very, very loud. Now, to the back of the phone, as you guys can see, I've got my Tech 21 case, on the phone. I just love the durability of Tech 21. I love the texture, that rubbery feel. It just helps me get a better grip on the phone. So shout out Tech 21. Y'all want to cut me a check, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't turning down no money. Now, back of the phone, we've got the 12 megapixel rear facing camera, which is excellent, by the way. To the right of the camera, we've got the fingerprint sensor, and to the left of the camera, we've got the heart rate monitor with the dual tone LED flash. This is a wonderful feature, and I'll talk a little bit about that a little later in the video. Now, my thoughts on the build quality of this phone. I think it's excellent. Let me go ahead and pop it out of the case here. Okay, my bad, Bixby. I didn't mean to activate you there. Okay, so this phone is, without a doubt, and I mean without a doubt, the most sexiest phone that there is right now on the market. There's a lot of good looking devices out there, but I don't know of any device right now that is topping the way this phone looks. I mean, this screen is huge on such a small footprint, and it's just very easy to hold and grasp. Again, I've got very tiny hands, just easily can just wrap my hand around this phone. Okay. Now, like I said, this is a 6.2-inch display. Now, the way that I'm able to just cuff this phone, like, what I'm saying, it's cuffing season right now, man. The way I'm able to cuff this phone right now, I mean, it's just crazy considering how big the screen is. They stretched the screen vertically. They made it a little thinner. It's not as wide. Now, if I was holding my Z Max Pro, oh man, couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So, after getting used to the Plus here, I mean, this literally is a slim design, small footprint, 6.2-inch display that is easily navigated with one hand. A lot of phones that are big like this, it's a two-handed operation off top. You know what I'm saying? Now, I like the fact that, you'll see it's curved on both sides on the front, and it's curved on the back as well. And I mean, the curves they just wrap around the phone seamlessly. There's no sharp edges or anything digging into your hands or your fingers as you're holding the phone. I mean, it just feels really, really good in the hand. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just how they were able to accomplish this. So yeah, I mean, The build quality, I'm a huge fan of the build quality. Huge fan of the build quality. And I'm actually this just makes me more excited to see what they're going to do with the Note 8. Because in my personal opinion, Samsung, they've got to do something to completely separate the Note 8 from this. And it's like looking at this, holding this, using this, it's like, how can you top this? You know what I mean? It's just like there's like certain, I'm a video gamer, I'm a PS4 Plus guy, you know what I'm saying? And there's just certain games that are just so dope. My goodness, Resident Evil 7. That game is so filthy, so terrifying, so scary, so graphically beautiful. And it's already been confirmed that they're working on Resident Evil 7, 8, Capcom. And it's like, how can they top Resident Evil 7? The game was that good. Well, this is what this is in the smartphone world, man. This is the Resident Evil 7 of the smartphone game right now, man. You know what I'm saying? And I use Resident Evil 7 because I'm a huge horror movie fanatic. I love horror games. Man, all that. I love it, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can Samsung top this? Now, I hope what they don't do, I hope they don't just give us this and just throw an S Pen in there and just say, okay, here's the Note 8. Because that ain't cutting it. You know what I'm saying? The Note is supposed to be the top dog, the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? So they got Samsung, y'all got to do something to separate the Note from this. Now, would I be tripping if the Note looks somewhat like this? Of course not, because look at this device. I mean, this is crazy how good this phone looks. You know what I'm saying? But to just say, hey, let's just throw an S Pen on there and just call this Note 8. Nah, man. Nah, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Samsung, y'all got to come through with this Note, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially after that Note 7 fiasco. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They were selling them time bombs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. Y'all gotta come through, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta come through. I mean, they've rectified the situation somewhat by giving us this in the S8. You know what I mean? But what they gonna do with that Note 8? You know what I'm saying? That's the big question. Because a lot of people ain't even rocking with this. A lot of people are just like, I'm waiting for that Note to come out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm right there with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I love the Note line. So we're going to see. We're going to see. Now, performance. Let's talk a little bit about performance real quick. All right. Snapdragon 835 processor, 4 gigs of RAM. I mean, it's as fluid as it needs to be. No lag whatsoever. Now, the first Plus that I got on launch day had a few hiccups. You know what I'm saying? Had a few little stutters here and there, and I'm not sure if it was just something, a software issue. A lot of times, when new tech comes out and you're one of those early adopters, you got to get it on the first day. A lot of those first few batches of any electrical device that's manufactured, I mean, they're more prone to having issues. And so I understand why a lot of people, they're just like, I'm gonna wait a couple weeks or wait a month or two, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that all the kinks and all the bugs are ironed out. And then I'll go ahead and cop it because, I don't want to deal with, what could be possibly going wrong with the phone. I feel that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking maybe that unit was, a little defective in some way, shape or form. It was doing some defective type of things, which is one of the reasons why I returned it. And then I was just like, maybe I could save myself $100, man, and just go ahead and get the S8, just the regular one, because they're the same phones. And yeah, so I went and did that. And, again, I started, missing that additional screen real estate. I mean, them additional 500 milliamps. I mean, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. But I didn't have any issues with the S8 that I had. This Plus, I haven't had any problems with whatsoever. Okay, opening up apps, let's see. Well, no, I don't want to show you my banking. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it to that Bible app real quick. You guys go ahead and pause the video right there so you can get that word up in you. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about that Christ life. Ain't ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? This is a platform. And, if I can educate you guys on these phones and witness to you at the same time, then, hey, man, so be it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Fools be out here talking crazy, man. What set you from, homie? What set you claim, cuz? Like, man, Jesus Christ, bro. You know what I'm saying? You about that life? You know, I'm out here set tripping. You know what I'm saying? Christ style. You know what I'm saying? I ain't waving no flag. I'm waving this Bible around, you know, waving this word around. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I'm gonna just open up a few apps for you guys, man. You know, just so you can you know, see how snappy, you know, it is, you know, just opening things. Where's my Canary app at? This is my home security app. A lot of times this takes a little while to open up. That just opened up in a flash. Let's go to Netflix real quick. Okay. And I am on my 4G LTE T-Mobile network right now. I'm not connected to my Wi-Fi. So these are actual speeds that I get when I'm just out and about. Let's take the Dropbox real quick. Okay, Dropbox just opened up. Boom, the score. What's going on, man? Just had this draft. Carroll admits 0% chance of trading Sherman. They shouldn't trade Sherman. They'd be stupid to trade Sherman. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Seattle, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a Seahawk fan. You know what I'm saying? That'd be stupid for them to trade Sherman. You know, keep the core of that team together, man, so we can try to make another Super Bowl run. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now let's go to recents. Okay, you guys see that? Just flipping through apps. No lag whatsoever. Let's take it to the settings. Scroll up and down through the settings. Okay. Now, matter of fact, let me go back to settings. Let me go to apps. So I was watching one of Jay Will's videos, and he was actually able to get this phone to stutter a little bit. And he said that his stuttered when he went to apps, and then he started scrolling through them. Now, you see that? Scrolling through those apps like a hot knife through butter. No lag at all whatsoever. So, big homie Jay, man, I don't know what's going on with your device, bruh. But I mean, if you tune into this video, you'll see, man, no lag when I went into that app screen right there. Zero lag whatsoever. Okay. Which you drop $900 on a phone, it better not lag. You know what I'm saying? Or it's going to be a problem. You know, because I ain't got no problem returning things. All right. Now, let's go over here to Bixby real quick. You know, Bixby I find to be very helpful. Okay. Bixby is not a problem. I understand, you know what I'm saying? It's a Google Assistant spinoff. You know what I'm saying? You know, Samsung, they're all, you know, this is just another attempt for them to try to out Google. You come on, man, you can't out Google. You know what I'm saying? Try saying that 10 times, y'all. Out Google. You know what I'm saying? You can't out Google, man. You know what I'm saying? You can try. I mean, now this is cool though. I mean, it's helpful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love the S Health app. I love what Samsung has done with S Health. Having the ability, you know, to check your heart rate and your SpO2 levels, your oxygen levels, your stress level, your water intake, calories burned, steps, you know what I'm saying? Flights of stairs that you've gone up and down. I mean, this thing just tracks everything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got my, you know, and you could set the different cards to be where you want them to be so that whenever you go to Bixby, some of the most important things to you pop up. For me, health is most important. You know what I'm saying? I'm a health nut. You know what I'm saying? I'm a naturalist. I wake up every morning, I pray, I read my devotional, I read scripture, and I go work out. You know, I got routines for every 7 days of the week. I got different workout routines that I do. You know what I'm saying? I have a naturopathic physician. I eat healthy. I take natural supplements. I don't mess with no medications. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Never have, never will. I've always been the square out of the bunch. And that's cool. I'm 38 years old and I feel wonderful. I feel great. I'm in the best shape of my life. You know what I'm saying? All praise and glory be to God for blessing me with the mental capacity to know that my body is my temple and I'm gonna get out of it what I put in it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all better quit playing around with your health, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the medical field 17 years and there's cats out here dying from heart attacks and strokes and having all kind of other serious problems. And a lot of that is due to lifestyle. You know, a lot of it is genetic, which you can't really do anything about, but lifestyle, that is something that you can control. You know what I'm saying? Check yourself. But yeah, S Health, I got that right there at the top. Spotify, you know, I'm very musical, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so I got that right there. And then, you know, today's activity, got my steps, Samsung themes. You know, you can customize it, you know, however you want. You know what I'm saying? I mean, um, so I mean, you know, Bixby's cool. Now I understand, you know, there's supposed to be some type of voice assistant added to it, which is not completed yet. Um, so I mean, you know, once we get the update for its completion, then I will definitely test that out to see how it functions. But you know, me personally, I mean, I think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like either you can just swipe to the right and you got Bixby right there, or you know, you can just long press on the button right there and you got Google Assistant. I'm your Google Assistant. You know, so you know, whichever. You know what I'm saying? They're all helpful tools. You know, to help, you know, get you what you're looking for. So whether it be Google Assistant, Bixby, whatever, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? As long as I get what I'm looking for, I'm a happy camper. You know. Now, the cameras. The cameras. Selfie cam is 8 megapixels. Let me get my little cheat sheet out here right quick. And cameras, y'all. All right, so check this out. You want to look at those specs, pause the video. Okay, these are the specs for the front facing and the rear camera. Dope specs, right? Okay, now, camera performance in real world use, in my opinion. Selfie cam, monstrous photos, beautiful photos, even in low light. All right, I've sent some pictures to some people that I took with this device with the rear facing camera, and they were just like, man, you know, what camera are you using? You know what I mean? I mean, I know you paid a guap for that camera. And I'm like, man, yeah, this is my S8 Plus. You know, yeah, I did pay a guap for this phone, you know what I'm saying? But they were under the impression that it was an actual just dedicated camera. You know, that's how good the color reproduction and just the sharpness and the screen clarity and, you know, just the realism of photos that this takes, even in low light. I have to say that this is probably one of the best low light cameras that there is. Now, there was a bit of a misconception because a lot of people were under the impression that the rear facing camera was the same one from the S7 and the S7 Edge, which those were good cameras as well. But these are different lenses that are in this camera. You know what I mean? It's still a 12 megapixel camera, but they're different lenses, a little bit of a different technology. The photos are a little better on this phone than they are on the S7 and the S7 Edge. Okay. Now, if I had to choose between camera, can I say that this is my favorite camera? No, but this will be definitely my second favorite. And the reason why I say that is because you got the LG G6 out there that's got that dual 13 megapixel camera, one standard view, the other one wide angle view. And just having that wide angle view, oh man, I mean, it's a thing of beauty. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, front facing camera wise, I would choose this camera over the G6 because the G6, it's got a 5 megapixel selfie cam, but LG also implemented the wide angle view option for the front facing cam, the selfie cam on the G6 as well. And I think that they kind of had to scale back a few things just with the regular viewfinder for the selfie cam on the G6 just to implement that wide angle feature. So I find that selfies on the G6 are very inconsistent. They're very fuzzy. I mean, the type of quality that you're going to get from that selfie cam has a lot to do with the lighting and the environment, you know. And my experience with it, it seemed as though you got better pictures when you were in the wide angle view on the G6 on the selfie cam as opposed to just the regular image. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I just have to say, raw photo, just point and shoot as far as selfies between this phone and the G6, I would take this camera here on the S8. Now, rear-facing camera, I would take the G6 over this camera. Man, hold up, y'all. All right, y'all, my bad, man. That was my son's mother, you know, of course, calling to crash the party, you know what I'm saying? But she cool. Shout out to Tasha. What's up, Tasha? But yeah, so camera on this phone, very, very, very solid camera. even in low light. Now I have to say that this camera takes better low light pictures in my opinion than the G6. Okay, so I think in low light, this camera is going to pretty much outperform a lot of devices that are out there. But I mean, in good lighting, this would be my number two. You know, this would be my side piece. You know what I'm saying? And then the G6, because of those dual 13 megapixels with that wide angle view, that's definitely number one. Okay, definitely number one. Now, another thing I want to cover real quick with this phone: features. My goodness, I mean, do you have so many features? A lot of the features that are on this phone, will I ever use them all? Probably not. But I mean, it's good to know that these features are available, and I like features. So for me, the more things I've got to play with, the better. So now, again, just some of the stuff that we know off top, this phone, it's got iris scanning. It's got phase detection. It's IP68, dust and water resistant, which a lot of people are big on that. For a lot of people, that's a determining factor. I mean, I've heard some people slam some really, really good phones because they weren't water resistant. So it just kind of makes me wonder, like, what are people doing with their devices? But matter of preference. I mean, it is what it is. To each their own. But to me, it don't matter if the phone is IP68 water and dust resistant, because my phone ain't chilling in no water and ain't in no dust. You know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all, man. My daughter's just trolling right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a little 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. But yeah, they banging on the door and making noise, and I'm like, yo, I'm recording. You know what I'm saying? And they don't care. They don't care, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to London and Sanaya, my 2 baby girls. Just recently had a birthday. Their birthday is both on April 1st. They were born on the same day, 2 years apart. How crazy is that? But yeah, they trolling right now. Oh, okay, mom just came and got him. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? All right, back to the video. Now, features, yeah. IP68 dust and water resistant. Not a big deal to me, because my phone ain't in no water. It ain't in no dust. But I guess for some people, it's good that the phone has that functionality. Now, again, we've got the always on display, which is a good thing. You can turn that on or off. Me, I just like having the ability to just look over on my phone and look at the time, look at the date, see my notifications right here. All those things you can turn off. You just saw that face detection right there. I mean, it's quicker than the fingerprint. Now, real quick, let me touch on the fingerprint real quick. Okay, the fingerprint sensor, because we all know the fingerprint sensor is right there. This has been a very controversial topic with this device. It's been something that this device has gotten slammed on because of the fingerprint placement. Now, I don't see it being that big of a deal. Again, once I got my phone, since that was one of the most negative things that people had to say about the phone, of course, that's what captivated my attention. And typically when I hold this phone, my thumb is right here on the power button. My index finger, you see where my index finger is? It's just to the right. I know exactly where the camera is, and so I never mistake the camera lens for the fingerprint sensor. Now, the sensor, it's definitely one of those sensors where you got to tap it, you got to get your finger on it, you got to get a good read, but when you tap it, it's instant. Okay? No problems whatsoever. It works 100% of the time. So, depending on how I'm holding the phone, if I'm just, taking the phone out of my pocket, just tap it and it opens up. Or, if I've got the phone out and I don't feel like just wrapping my hand around it, I could just double tap on the home button right there and facial detection. Just pops the phone right open. Okay, no problem. Now, going into the settings here, we'll just kind of go down the list. We've got connections, sounds and vibrations, notifications, display, wallpapers and themes, advanced features, device maintenance, apps, lock screen and security, cloud and accounts, Google, accessibility, general management, software update, and help. Now to access a lot of the additional features on this device, you want to go into advanced features, which you see we've got Smart Stay, which That's just as long as you're looking at your phone, then the phone will not go to sleep mode. No matter if you've, under display, say like if you've got your screen timeout at 30 seconds, which is where I always have my screen timed out at, as long as you're looking at the screen, it's not going to time out in 30 seconds. But if you're not looking at the screen, if you're not paying attention to the screen, then your screen's going to time out in 30 seconds. Oh, what just happened? Oh, I hit the back button accidentally. Okay. Then there's games. There's manage useful features while you play games, which I don't play games on my phone. I'm more of a console guy. We've got one-handed mode, which I'll show you guys how to do that shortly. We've got finger sensor gestures. So when you turn that on, there's different things that you can do by just swiping your finger over the fingerprint sensor to, do certain things with apps. We've got quick launch the camera, so you can open the camera quickly by pressing the power key twice, which is right here. So you just double tap on that, and some shit out about to hit the fan, somebody about to get stolen, and you want that world star moment, then boom, you just hit that button twice and you got your camera. Multi-window show more than one app at the same time. I haven't really messed with that, but that feature is on here. And actually, this phone has 7.0. So, you can I think you just tap the recents button twice and you can just access two apps and have them running at the same time. You've got smart capture. So include hidden areas of the screen in your screenshots. You can also edit or share screenshots after you take them. You've got palm swipe to capture. So you can get a screenshot just by taking your palm and just waving it over your phone like that. I think that's the easiest way to get like a screenshot. We got direct call. So like if you're going through your contact list, rather than just hitting call, you can just go to the person's name and then just put the phone up to your ear and it'll call the person. Smart alert. Your phone will vibrate when you pick it up to know if you miss calls or messages. So like if your phone is laying face down and you miss a call or a text message, when you pick it up, then it'll vibrate or to, sound some kind of notification noise indicating that you've got a missed call or a missed message. So you can go ahead and check it. That's cool. Easy mute incoming calls and alarms by putting your hand over the screen or turning the phone's face down. Now that's a cool feature because I don't know if any of you have, Samsung smartwatches or anything like that, whether it be your Gear Fit 2 or your Gear S3 Frontier or the Gear S2 or whatever. But a lot of times when you want to put that phone, the screen to sleep, you just put your hand over it. So it's cool that they implemented that with the phone too. If you just want to turn the screen off or whatever, or smart or easy mute, you just put your hand over it and it does that for you. Okay. We've got swipe to call or send a message, which, that's also in, if you're going through your contacts and you want to send somebody a message, swipe it to the right or left. I'm not sure the direction, or if you swipe it to the left, then you can make a call, or the other way around. Send an SOS message. I got that turned off because I don't go nowhere without that thing. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't promote violence, but I am a licensed carrier. And you just never know, man. It's one of those things where I'd rather have it and, I'd rather have it and not need it rather than need it and not have it. So, I'm always walking around with that banger on me, So that's my SOS right there. You see that Glock, man, it's a problem. But anyway, direct share content with specific people directly via the sharing panel from within the app. And then you got video enhancer, which enhance the image quality for your videos. So, this phone, it's got a lot of features. Now, the one-handed feature, for a lot of people that feel as though this phone is too big, there's some people that feel like the S8, just the regular one, is too big, which I get it. It's a 5.8-inch display. A lot of people are used to having anywhere between a 5-inch device and a 5.5 or a 5.3. Or if you're coming from an iPhone, if you're not rocking with the Plus, the smaller iPhone is a 4.7-inch display. So definitely, especially if you're coming from an iPhone, coming to either one of these Samsung devices, it's going to be, a bit of an adjustment with the screen real estate. So to do one-handed mode, you just simply, the corner right here, swipe up, boom. And there's your one-handed mode. And, there's a little arrow right there. Now, I am a lefty, but strangely enough, I never hold my hand in my left hand or hold my phone in my left hand. I'm very ambidextrous, so when it comes to like writing and stuff like that, yeah, I'm a lefty. But, using scissors or using my phone, it's always in the right hand. So, you can hit this little arrow right here just to move the one-handed mode display onto the right side, and now I can just navigate, you know, and it's just it's the full phone functionality. It's just on a smaller screen, you know. So very, very easy to navigate right there. Go to settings just to kind of show you guys that it's not like it's like a dumbed down version of the phone or anything. I mean, it's the full phone and all of its features and functionality just all on a much smaller screen, definitely making it just more so of a one-handed experience, which is called one-handed mode. So I mean, if you need to make a call, same thing, your numbers. I mean, it's very convenient, having that feature there. And so to exit out of that, you just simply just tap anywhere on the screen and it just brings you right back up to the regular, 6.2 inch display. Okay. So, this phone, it's got a lot of features. Now, let me show you guys real quick how to add little banners, or like right here, like on my always on display, how I've got Pristine's Galaxy S8 Plus. They don't really make that real clear as to how to do that. I know, that's for personalization. Some people just may want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you guys how to get to that real quick. All right. So double tap on that, face detection, wake it up. So we're going to go to options. Okay. We're going to go to lock screen and security. Okay. Now under lock screen and security, toward the bottom of that page, it says lock screen and always on display. Okay, so if you click always on display right there, you've got different features, and different, well, I'll just show it to you real quick. So you can set, I've got the analog or the digital clock going on, but you can set it to analog. You've got, 2 time zones or 2 different times right there. You've got a calendar. You can put a picture up there. You know what I'm saying? Content to show. This is on your lock screen. So right now I have my content to show, my home button, clock, or information. But the other 2 options you have is clock or information, or just the home button only. So go back out of that. Now, if you want to add something to the home screen, you just click on information and face widgets, and then you just hit contact information. So I believe that this is just, I don't really know why they call it contact information, because I'm not putting nobody's contact in the face of my phone for somebody to see it. But now you see right there, Pristine's Galaxy S8 Plus. So basically whatever you type in right there, it's going to show on the lock screen. So you just hit done, click out of that. And then when your always on display pops up, it's going to be right there under the date, in between the date and the battery life. Okay. That's pretty dope. Now, as far as battery life, again, this has a 3,500 milliamp hour battery. I'm easily pulling down 5.5 or 6 hours of screen on time with no problems. Okay. With the S8, it was about 4.5 or 5 hours. Again, like I said, there's a noticeable difference with the battery life between this one and the S8. The S8, it's got a smaller battery. This has, 500 more milliamps, which definitely helps. So I've got no issues with the battery life whatsoever. There are a bunch of battery optimization features on here. But just be mindful when you turn those things off, there's gonna be some features and functionality that you're gonna have to do without. That's how the phone optimizes the battery. So, really to optimize your battery, as I've said in other videos, I mean, just services that you're not using, like Bluetooth or location, GPS, Wi-Fi, if you're not using those things, turn them off, because they're always looking for connections. GPS is always looking for it's looking for somewhere for you to direct it. You know what I mean? And so there's no need for it to be on if you're not using GPS, because it's just draining your battery unnecessarily, So, yeah, that's how I optimize the battery. And again, like I said, I'm not a heavy downloader or anything like that. So, battery life is solid. I've got no complaints. All right, my bad, y'all, man. I had to pause the video for a quick second. The 2 babies, they was trolling hard, man. Real hard. I'm sure you guys, may have heard some of the commotion in the background. My apologies for that. I hope it didn't, take focusness off of, the phone here and, what we're discussing. But overall, just my final thoughts for this particular device, I'm having a blast with it. I love it. I'm more of an LG guy, A lot of times for me, it comes down to LG's product and then Samsung's product. I'll get them both in hand, and usually it's the LG product that I gravitate more towards. But not this time. No knock on the G6. The G6 is an excellent device. But I just think that this is a little bit better. Now, considering the price that we're paying for this phone, I mean, for one, I don't like the price. I'm not a fan of the price. And I think that for the price that we're paying for these devices, I mean, there could have been a few more things that they could have implemented, like an IR blaster. I've stressed in other videos the importance of an IR blaster. I mean, once you have it on a device and you actually use it, I mean, it really is one of those things where it's hard to do without. And it's kind of hard to imagine that as expensive as this phone is, there's no IR blaster on this or the S8. So to me, I think that that's a bit of a shame. And with all the features that this phone has, and I guess, different phones have to have different things about them that have to set themselves apart. But a lot of times I find myself double tapping, hoping that the screen will go off, and then double tapping it for the screen to come on. That's an LG thing, something that I've gotten used to because I've had several LG devices over the years, and, they've got that double tap, that knock on or knock off, just like here. I got my K20 Plus, double tap. Really? Oh, well, because my wife, this is my wife's phone, so I'm gonna be reviewing this phone next. But I believe that she's got that double tap feature turned off. But normally, you double tap. Oh, there it is, right there. Maybe I wasn't tapping it in the right area, but double tap it to get the screen to come on. Double tap it for the screen to go off. I like that. This doesn't have that. That's petty, but it is what it is. Certain things you get used to, and you just kind of expect every phone to have that particular feature. But it's interesting because I feel like LG, they originated that, but a lot of other phones, they have that feature. So it's like, considering the price that we're paying for this device, it's like, why not pack it with everything? You know what I'm saying? IR blaster, knock on and off features, and everything else that the phone possesses. But it is what it is, man. Overall, is this phone a good device? Absolutely. It's one of the best devices out there. Now, is it the best? That's a matter of opinion. There's a lot of good phones out there that, that perform really well. Don't get it confused into thinking that just because this has the latest processor, that it's just the best performing thing out there. I mean, there's lots of phones that have good processors, the 820s, the 821s, the 835 here. I mean, Samsung is just the first phone to come out with the 835 processor, but if you put this phone next to that G6 and you're doing a performance test, scrolling through apps to see how quickly apps open up, and man, they're going to be nearly identical. If not, we're just talking about a matter of a second or two. Difference in, how fast one opens up an app versus how quickly the other one opens up. I mean, so it's not that big of a difference. You know what I mean? But overall, this is a great device. Now, one thing I want to talk about just real quick, at the end of the day, of all the things that this phone does, it's still a phone. And I think a lot of times people, they kind of leave this stuff out. But the actual phone functionality, I know it's 2017. I know we live in a social media world. Everything is social media. Everything is social media. A lot of these young bucks out here, man, I'm old school. I'm 38 years old. I was born in 78, yo. I'm a 70s baby. So, a phone is a phone. So it's like, what good is a phone if it does, if it does well at all the social media stuff, texting and email and all that? But what about the call quality? What about the actual phone usage? I'll be talking to these young cats like, man, when was the last time you actually put your phone to your ear and talk to somebody and they just look at you like you're Stone Age? You know what I'm saying? Like we in the Flintstone era. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, that is a phone. You know what I'm saying? You do know that you can talk on it, right? You can get on the dialer and dial a number and hit the phone button and a call will be placed. You know what I'm saying? And they just be scratching their head like, bruh, what is you saying? So the phone features on this phone are really, really good. I haven't had very many drop calls at all whatsoever. I feel like all phones, they do that. All these carriers, they claim to be the best, and they all have their strengths and their weaknesses. T-Mobile for me is just a better fit. I like the improvements that they're made with their overall service. I like the flexibility that they give their customers to be able to hop from one device to another when they want to, not being locked into this, oh, you got to keep the phone for a couple years. No, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. And I like their plans, but, call quality is amazing on this phone. It sounds just as though I'm on a landline. People, they sound nice, rich, and clear. To me, they tell me that I sound nice, rich, and clear to them. That's a plus. So good call quality, talking, texting, emailing. I mean, this phone, everything just works seamlessly. Now, the price, this is $850 plus tax. You're going to be paying a little over $900 and some change. The regular S8, which is the 5.8 inch version, that phone is $750. So with taxes, you're going to be paying a little over $800 and some change. So you're definitely, you got to pay to play, and right now, these phones are claiming to be the kings of the crop, which a lot of people would agree with that. Some people would contest that. But it is what it is, man. If you want what it is, you got to pay straight up. Now, getting it from a carrier, it's good because you have options, payment plan options. A lot of people ain't walking around with, $800-900 walking around where they can just be like, oh, I want that, and just throw the money on the table. Then they're out the door. A lot of people have it like that, but a lot of people don't, so it's good that they have options and different payment plans and arrangements for people to get their hands on devices like these. If you got the money to cash out outright, if you balling like that, then man, what I'm saying? Do what you do, but, I just think the price is too damn high. I think, a reasonable price for both of these would have been, $499 for the S8, $599 for the Plus. I think those would have been very reasonable prices. You know what I'm saying? Because in spite of the fact that this phone does a lot, you've got a lot of other phones out there that do the same things and they perform just as good, if not better, for a fraction of the cost or for half of the cost. You know what I mean? So, and that's just for the phone. You want to go get yourself a good case, that may run you about $30-40. This case right here costs $39.99. $40 for this Tech 21. Okay. Now, I get discounts, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't pay the full $30, but I'm just, or the full $40, but I mean, typically this is $39.99 plus the taxes. So you're looking at maybe like $43 and some change, maybe close to $44 for a little piece of rubber. Now, no knock on Tech 21. Again, this case is dope. You see the corners, there's, I can't think of the name of the material, but, the corners, they're like shock resistant corners, so when you drop this bad boy, it's made for impact, and I've seen demonstrations where people have literally put the Tech 21 cases on their phone and they threw their phone purposely just to demonstrate how durable the case was and how well it protected the phone. And the phone was unblemished. Now, me, I ain't throwing my phone for nobody. I don't care what I'm trying to demonstrate. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, it's just protecting the sides and the back of the phone. It ain't protecting the face of the phone. So you'd feel like an idiot if you're trying to do a demonstration and then you come up with a cracked screen. You know what I'm saying? So if you decide to get a case like this, I would definitely recommend putting a screen protector, of some sort, just to protect the screen. This is a beautiful Quad HD Super AMOLED display. You don't want that cracked. You don't want that cracked at all. Okay. So man, y'all, that's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? My bad for how lengthy this video is. But again, this is the S8 Plus here. This phone is packed full of features, a lot of information, a lot of things to cover. You know what I'm saying? I hope I covered everything. If I left out anything, let me know in the comments. You guys already know. If you got any questions, comments, any feedback, you know how to get in contact with me. Hit me up in the comments and I'll be sure to get back in contact with you guys as soon as I can. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in to the video. I appreciate and I love all you guys, all my subscribers, people that been rocking with me, all my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the journey. Y'all stay tuned. There's going to be much more content like this to come, and I'm going to leave you with this, as I always do. All right? If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up button. Like, share, and subscribe if you have not already, to expose yourself to a catalog of videos similar to this one. And again, y'all, until the next video, y'all, please stay safe. Please stay safe. Okay? Stay blessed. Definitely keep God first in your life, no matter what's going on. He will see you through. He didn't bring you this far just to drop you off at this point. Okay? Know that and trust in him. Everything is going to be all right, no matter what you're going through. All right? And definitely stay pristine, y'all. Stay pristine. From your man, Pristine. Peace, y'all. SA+. Cop that.